Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to remote day number 2. This is going to be for February 20th. Okay, so yesterday we started our remote day 1. If you did not watch remote day 1, go back and do remote day 1 and get that work out of the way. Now today, since we're remote again, what we're going to do is going to take it kind of easier today. See, yesterday we did a lot of information, and I'm sure a lot of you still have a lot of packets of work to do, as well as your weekly homework. So that should be your focus. Today, go ahead and finish the math packet. Go ahead and work on that. Dedicate your time to doing that math packet. If you didn't finish your spelling and reading comprehension that was given to you last week, go ahead and finish that first and foremost. Okay, we should be doing week 19 spelling words as well as the reading comprehension that went along with it. But if you have all of that work done and you're ready for remote day 2, I'm ready for remote day 2. And we've got some things that you can definitely do at home today. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you remember, yesterday we read about Walter Hawkins, the inventor of the plastic lining that goes around telephone wire. Today, we're going to read the second reading comprehension that's in that story, Rebecca Lee Crumpler, Physician. This is another great story and a great opportunity for you to practice your Unreal skills. So let's go ahead and put that up right here. Let's shrink me down. There we go. And let's go through Unreal so that we can do this together and make it easier for you. Okay, so the first thing we do is we put our name on it and we underline the title, Rebecca Lee Crumpler, Physician. We number the paragraphs, 1, 2, 3. There we go. We got our 3 paragraphs numbered. And now we can go to the questions. So if we take a look at the questions, they're going to look very similar to the questions that we saw yesterday with Walter Hawkins. Like number 1. What is Rebecca Crumpler's most significant achievement? Pretty much, what is the biggest thing that she did with her life? Once you read, you're going to be able to figure that out pretty quickly. Number 2, how did Rebecca Crumpler's accomplishments impact the scientific community? This is another great question, science related. So make sure that when we're reading, we're picking out what she did to make the scientific community better. Number 3, how did Rebecca Crumpler's accomplishments impact the general public? This is how she impacted people like you and me. And number 4, what events played a role in Rebecca Crumpler's rise to fame? Pretty much you're going to write down, why is she famous? All right. So now that we have gone over the questions, let's go ahead and read together. So before we read about Rebecca Lee Crumpler, let's get some APK, or some accessing of prior knowledge. And let's learn a little bit more about Rebecca Lee Crumpler.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we've got an incredible story to share, and it's all about breaking barriers and making history.
We're diving into the life of an extraordinary woman who challenged the prejudices of her time to become a trailblazer in the field of medicine. Get ready for an inspiring journey.
So imagine this. It's the early 1800s, and in Delaware, a remarkable woman named Rebecca Lee Crumpler is born.
Born in 1831 to Absalom Davis and Matilda Weber, Crumpler's early life was influenced by her aunt in Pennsylvania, who spent her time caring for sick neighbors.
Yeah, it seems like her aunt's compassion rubbed off on her. By 1852, she had moved to Charlestown, Massachusetts, and without any formal training, she worked as a nurse for 8 years.
Can you believe it? No formal training, and yet she dedicated 8 years to nursing. Now, here's a question for you, viewers. Have you ever helped someone when they were sick?
Now, the plot thickens. In 1860, Crumpler was admitted to the New England Female Medical College. And guess what? She graduated in 1864, making her the first African-American woman in the United States to earn an MD degree.
A true pioneer. And she was the only African-American woman to graduate from that medical college, which later merged with Boston University School of Medicine.
How do you think Crumpler felt when she became the first African American woman in the U.S. to earn an MD degree? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
After graduating, Crumpler practiced in Boston for a while before moving to Richmond, Virginia in 1865. She saw it as a field for real missionary work and focused on the diseases affecting women and children.
It's incredible how she worked tirelessly, even in the face of intense racism, caring for freed slaves and those who had limited access to medical care.
What challenges do you think Crumpler faced as she provided medical care in post-war Richmond, Virginia? Share your thoughts.
Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler's story is truly awe-inspiring. She faced challenges head-on, breaking through barriers and leaving an indelible mark on history.
Absolutely. And despite the limited information we have about her, her Book of Medical Discourses, published in 1883, stands as a testament to her achievements.
So, friends, what did you think of Dr. Crumpler's journey? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button.
All right, so you have your paper in front of you. Let's go ahead and begin. Now, my advice is I would have a highlighter or a pencil with you so that when you think something's important, you can go ahead and underline it, especially for all of you that are following along with me. So let's go ahead and begin reading. Rebecca Lee Crumpler, physician. Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler was the first African American woman to become a doctor in the United States. She graduated from the New England Female Medical College in 1864, at a time when very few African Americans, both men and women, could attend medical college. She first practiced medicine in Boston, caring for primarily poor women and children. When the Civil War ended in 1865, she moved to Richmond, Virginia to perform missionary work and provide medical care to freed slaves. Rebecca later moved back to Boston to continue her care for impoverished women and children. In 1883, she published a book focused on maternal and pediatric care. It was one of the first books about medicine written and published by an African American. Now, already in paragraph 1, so much information, and if you're anything like me, I would go back in paragraph 1 and underline what you think is important, or what do you think answered some of the questions already. So, whenever you're ready, let's go to paragraph 2. Rise to fame. Rebecca was raised in Pennsylvania by her aunt, who acted as the doctor in her community. Caring for sick neighbors, Rebecca's aunt inspired her to pursue a career in healthcare. At the age of 21, she moved to Massachusetts and was employed as a nurse from 1855 to 1864. She began her medical education at the New England Female Medical College in 1865. In March 1864, the Board of Trustees at the college named her Doctor of Medicine, making her the country's first formally trained African-American female physician. She focused her career on learning about and treating diseases that affected women and children. She used the notes she kept over the years to publish a book in medical discourses, in 1883. Her book was dedicated to nurses and mothers and emphasized the possibility of preventing disease by understanding human anatomy and physiology. Crumpler was the only female physician to publish a book in the 19th century. Last paragraph, later in life. In the early 1870s, Crumpler attended the classes to study mathematics. She taught for a few years before her death in 1895. After her death, one of the first medical societies for African American women was named the Rebecca Lee Society in her honor. Her home on Joy Street in Boston is a stop on the Boston's Women's Heritage Trail. What an amazing person. All right, so if we go back to the questions, you can see that a lot of the answers that we just read are there. Like in our first question, it's what is her most significant accomplishment? Well, that should be pretty easy. If we go back to paragraph 1, and even throughout the story, it talks about what she did that was most significant. What is she most well known for? In the second question, how did her accomplishments impact the scientific community? This one goes without saying. You may need to think a little bit more with this one, but anyone that has an entire society named after her, definitely going to be kind of a big deal, isn't it? Number 3, how did Rebecca Crumpler's accomplishments impact the general public? Listen, she wrote books, didn't she? She wrote a book. She was the only female doctor to publish a book in the 1800s. That probably is a big deal and something that should be mentioned in that answer. And number 4, what events played a role in Rebecca Crumpler's rise to fame? There were so many things in her life that you could write down. I would put down a few. So, ladies and gentlemen, go through here. I cannot wait to see your answers. If you're still unsure about the story, rewind this video, go back, listen to the story again, reread the story again, find your proof, and good luck with all of this. All right. So, our next thing is in ELA is you have a test coming up dealing with a lot of the vocabulary. Now, you already know I have put out a video detailing all of the vocabulary words. I would go back and rewatch that week's video. I'm going to put week whatever right here. Go back, study those words, review those words, do what you can with those words, create flashcards, write them down, get familiar, because if you understand the words, it'll make everything a lot easier. Also, if you did not take yesterday's Kahoot on the parts of speech, what are you waiting for? Go back and find the class code. Go back to the remote day 1 and find those codes so that you can get on Kahoot and complete awesome practice work. All right. In math, I would definitely stick with doing and finishing the packet that Miss Lewis has sent out. It's a great packet with a lot of great review. Keep working at it. But if you're looking for another added challenge, well, I got you. This week, you already have been introduced and started talking about quadrilaterals. Yesterday, we did our flip chart on triangles. Today, we can do the same thing about quadrilaterals. So let's go over first the 4 or 5 different quadrilaterals, okay? First up, we have talk about the square. See, a square is a quadrilateral. It has 4 sides. All 4 sides are equal. All 4 angles are equal. That's what makes a square a square. Next, we have rectangle. Now, a rectangle is a little bit different. Instead of having all 4 sides the same, it has 2 of the sides. It has 2 sets of equal sides. See, we have a long set and we have a short set along the side. Okay? Once again, all the angles are the same. It's just that the length of those sides are indeed different. And the thing about the square and the rectangle, they're both parallel, aren't they? Their line segments will never touch. Next, we have the trapezoid. Boom. The trapezoid has 1 set of parallel sides there, the top and the bottom, but the 2 sides that are equal are the 2 diagonal sides. The other sides are all different, much like the scalene triangle that we talked about yesterday, where the sides are kind of different. Next, we have my favorite quadrilateral, the rhombus. Love the rhombus. The rhombus is great because really all it is a square that is turned and stretched out a little bit. See, all 4 sides of the rhombus are the same. The only thing that's different now are the angles. All right? And finally, we have the parallelogram. The parallelogram is a quadrilateral that has parallel sides, hence the name parallelogram. So what we can do to help us review is create a flip chart that looks just like this. And it can look like this. And inside you would write square, rectangle, trapezoid, rhombus, and parallelogram, and you could write any facts you need to know about it. Even if you want to practice drawing your shapes, it might not be a bad thing to rehearse and practice before you guys come back. Listen, the best way to get geometry and to understand these shapes is to practice drawing it and have fun drawing it as well. All right? So with math, you're primarily focused on getting your packet done. But if you got some extra time and you want to get a little creative, I highly suggest creating these nice little flip charts. Now, in social studies, I want you to spend your time on your storyboard. I want you to spend time creating your commercial, creating your advertisement, making it look nice, getting creative, having fun, being colorful with it, and most of all, doing your best possible work so when we get back together, we are ready to roll and ready to persuade and ready to sell our products. I cannot wait. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope all of you are continuing to be safe. You're warm. Hopefully, you're relaxing a little bit, but get ready to work when we all come back. So I can't wait to see you. I miss you, and we will see you all later.